In this video, I'm going to explain about how single inheritance is implemented in Java. I will open the editor and I will click on File. I'm choosing Java as the language. The default lines of code is displayed like this. So what is inheritance? Inheritance means inheriting the superclass or base class or parent class properties to subclass or derived class or child class. Superclass is also called as base class and superclass is also called as parent class. Subclass is also called as derived class or child class. So superclass properties, what are the properties of a class? Simply I said inheriting the properties of superclass to each subclass when we are establishing inheritance relation between these two classes. What are the properties of a class? Whatever the members we kept inside the class like variable declaration, constructor initialization, methods, many other things, whatever we declared inside the class, all those are called properties are the members of a class. All those properties or the members are available to each subclass once we establish inheritance relationship between these two classes. So that is the use of inheritance, means reusability. The main purpose of inheritance is how can we reuse the existing properties. So that is achieved with the help of inheritance. And I'm going to show you implementing single inheritance. So first I am declaring a superclass that is called a superclass that is called A. Inside the superclass, I'm going to declare some properties. Similarly, there is a class called B. This is called subclass. This class is going to extend the above class called A. So extends means inheriting. So inheritance is represented in Java with the help of the keyword extends. So B is extends A means B is the subclass, A is the superclass. Whatever the properties that are available in superclass A, all are available to subclass B. Now, so here what I am trying to do, I am going to declare two variables, A is equals to 20 and B is equals to 30. Okay, so here I am going to display a method result1. Result1, inside the result1 int r1 is equals to a plus b, and using system.out.println we are displaying the sum of a and b. String content and non-string content are separated in Java by using the plus operator. Actually result1 I want to display as it is at the time of generating the output. I want to show you the output of sum of a and b, that is assigned to r1. So that's the reason r1 is not enclosed in double quotes here. And after defining this method, close that method. Now, so what I done, I declare two variables of integer type. Immediately I initialize them. I'm finding the sum of both the variables inside the using the method called result1. So I'm performing addition between these two integer numbers and holding the result in a variable called r1, and I'm using this one. I will do one thing here only. I will declare this r1 before the method declaration. Then I will calculate like this. Now coming to the class subclass. Now subclass wants to perform the sum of A, B and C. So there is a new variable is required, that is C. So that is initialized with 40, and also we are going to perform the sum addition between A, B and C. So that I am going to hold it in a variable called R2, and I will define one more method with the name result2. Okay, Now, what I'm trying to do here, R2 is equals to A plus B plus C. And I'm trying to print the result using system.out.println statement. This is result 2. String content and non-string content are separated by using plus operator. Result 2 is held by a variable called R2. That is the reason I am not enclosing R2 in double quotes. After defining this method, simply we close it. So finally we are closing the subclass. If you observe inside the class B, there is no variable declared with the name A, there is no variable declared with the name B. Only C and R2 are declared and assigned. Only C is assigned. But even though the variable A is not part of the class B and variable B is also not part of the class B, how the subclass accepts these two values? Why? Because it extends the above superclass called A. Inside this class A, we already declared and initialized two variables called A and B. Because of that reason, as I told you, that inheritance means inherit the properties to its subclass. So all these are available to its subclass, so no need to worry about why we are not declared A and why we are not declared B. Even though we are not declaring, how it accepts because of inheritance. That is the advantage of inheritance. Now, once we defined superclass, once we defined subclass, then the next one is we need to create objects for both the classes. Superclass object we need to create, subclass object also we need to create. So this is a program, demonstration program about single level inheritance. So single level demo 1. I named it like this. Here in this place, I am trying to create object for class A first. How do we create object? Class name space object name is equals to new space class name. After creating the object, what is the purpose of creating object? To access the properties or members of a class. I want to access result 1. So result 1 is this. Okay. And I want to create one more object. The object for another class, that is called subclass B. Using subclass B, I am trying to access the result 2. Result 2. Yes, sir. That means it will print the sum of A and B. It prints the sum of A, B and C. Why? Because result 2 is combination of A, B, C. Result 1 is combination of A and B. Variables A and B. If you observe, result 1 is focusing on A and B. Result 2 is focusing on A, B and C. So I need to save this program. Before run, we need to save it. So what is the name I assigned? Single level demo. So single level demo.java. So how do we compile and run? Open the command prompt. Move to respective directory. Compilation command is java c space name of the file, that is see here three class names are there. Class name called A, class name called B, class name called single level demo. Why I saved with single level demo means, out of if our program contains more than one class, then we need to save our program with the class name which holds the public static void main method. Out of the three classes, single level demo is the only one class holds the main method. That is the reason I have saved this application with that class name. Please remember, in the previous videos only we are using only one class, so no worries about with what class name we have to save. But in this program there are three classes called A, B and single level demo. So with what class name we need to save our program? The class which holds the main method, with that name we have to save it. So single level demo dot java. So at the time of compilation, it will check any syntax related errors are there in our program or not. So successfully compiled, no compilation errors. How do we run it? Java space class name single level demo. So what are our expectations? We are calling result one method that calculates the sum of A and B. A value is 10 and B value is 20. That means we are expecting 30. In case of result 2, we are calling result 2 means it is calculating the addition between A, B and C, that is 10 plus 20 plus 30. We are expecting 60. Yeah, there is a class not found exception. Just I am cross checking this one. Single level demo 1. You see here I assigned it as demo 1, but I saved the name as single level demo. So when this at the time of running, whatever the class name we specified that is not matched with the name of the class which holds the main method, simply it will raise an exception. Exceptions are raised at runtime only. So what is the exception it raised? Whatever the class I specified here, that was not found. That is the reason it raises an exception, that is called class. Even though my program is syntactically correct, but meaningful incorrect. So to correct it, what should I do? I need to keep 1. See, I got the result 1 50 and result 2 90. I will check the values. Here A value I given as 20 and B value 30. So 20 plus 30 means 50 and 40. So 20 plus 30 plus 40. So 20 plus 30 50, 50 plus 40 90. Here I want to maintain some space and also colons, because otherwise this 2 and result 1 and the next output is clubbed together, where that makes confusion. Just I'm clearing the previous outputs. I will click on the previous commands. Now you can see result 1 is sum of A and B. A value is 20, B value is 30. Result 2 is sum of A, B and C. Result A, B, actually A and B are not declared and not initialized inside the subclass B, but still it is able to get it. Still it is able to access them because of inheritance property. Why? Because we are using extends keyword. So whatever the properties or members that are declared inside superclass A, all are by default available to its subclass. So because of that reason, we are able to get the values of A and B inside the subclass. And one more thing, suppose if I kept these two statements in comments, I can also access result 1 with the help of subclass object. So obj2 is the subclass, but there is no function, there is no method defined with the name result 1. Result 1. Actually, result 1 is defined in which class? Superclass A. Subclass defined only one method, that is with the name result2, but using subclass we can access the superclass properties. Why? Because there is a relation established between the subclass and superclass. So a subclass can access the properties of its superclass. So that can be proved with the help of this statement. So once I made any changes, just immediately we need to save this one and open the prompt and compile this. See, there is no change in the output. Only using subclass object only, I accessed superclass property that is called result. Not only the method, we can also access the variables what we declared and initialized inside the superclass. I will show you how we are going to print. After displaying these two results, I am going to access the values of A and B separately. Print ln. A is equals to, yeah, A is defined in which class? Superclass. But I can access that superclass with the name subclass object. Why I am trying to access with subclass object only? Because I am trying to prove that a subclass object can refer a superclass variable. This is a superclass variable, this is a subclass object. It gets privileges, permissions to access the properties of the superclass. To prove that, just I kept this statement. Similarly, I will also access one more variable that is called B. B. So both variable A and variable B I am trying to access with the help of subclass object 2. Obj2 is the object belongs to subclass B. So once we made any changes, immediately save it and run the program. You see, using subclass object, I can access the superclass variable called A. I can access the superclass variable B. So in this way, inheritance is single level inheritance, means only one superclass and one subclass. That's why it is called as single level inheritance. So whatever the properties are defined inside the superclass A, all are by default available to its subclass B.